Because every so often, not all classes, but every so often I say something that's somewhat intelligent, and I like to record it just to say proof that I did. So there we go. All right. So we're going to talk today about time management and scheduling. Time management and scheduling. So last week we talked a lot about the business plans, where we went over goals, business planning. We talked about building a database of 1,000 people, getting 100 deals a year, building wealth through real estate, all these wonderful things we talked about last week. And we're going to kind of put a wrap on the business planning section of getting into time management scheduling, because for those of you that have filled out your business plan, the number at the bottom of that plan on what you're going to accomplish should be something that excites you. Okay. But it also should be something that kind of pushes you. Like, hey, I can make this much money. I can do this, but how am I going to do all that? Because I put all these numbers in here, and it comes down to time management and scheduling. Now, did anyone look at their business plan and the dollar amount after you put in the numbers was more money than you've made before? One. Good. Okay. Okay. Two. Great. All right. So I've got 2 people that put down more money than they've ever made, and 47 people that are just hoping to get by. All right. Good start. So, okay. Maybe I should ask this question. How many of you have filled out a business plan? But don't answer. Don't answer. That heart palpitations when I find out that number. I have not received many of them, but I'm just assuming it's because you don't want to send it to me and you really did fill it out. That's the world I'm choosing to live in. So anyways, when you fill out your business plan, sometimes you get to that number and it's a number, it's exciting. And it's like, but how am I going to reach that number? I've never reached that number before. This is not my first year in real estate. I've never reached that number before. Okay. Or I did reach that number at one point, but I haven't reached that number recently. So how am I going to do all these other different things? Why? I mean, what would be different this year? And I want you to write this down. It's time management and scheduling. What's going to be different this year to make you more productive than, say, last year or years past is time management and scheduling. You know what you have to do in order to make more money, yes or no? This isn't rocket science, right? You know what you have to do. I need to talk to more people. I need to go on more listing appointments. I need to go on more buyer consultations. I need to do lead follow-up. I know what I have to do. Okay. So it's not I don't know what to do type of thing. So there's that. Well, maybe I'm not surrounded by the right people. Well, you're surrounded by the right people, whether it be in the office, on Zoom, coaching, training, whatever the case may be. You're surrounded by the right people. So I know what to do in order to make my goal this year. I'm surrounded by encouraging people to help me accomplish my goal this year. So really, it comes down to putting together the schedule and then the discipline of time management to simply doing those activities. So when I break it down that way, it makes it seem pretty simple, right? That's because it is. The more you complicate things, the less production you will do. Just a simple fact of sales. So we're going to break it down that way. Okay. So I want you to write this down. I'm going to start with here in time management. I want you to write down here, what have been my distractions? What have been my distractions? So give me some examples. What are some of your distractions that keep you from, because again, you already know what to do. What are some of the distractions that keep you from doing those activities? Give me some examples. Am I muted?
Family, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
we can hear you.
Jesus.
It's a tough crowd today, Robert.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. All right. So Carrie says anything. Anything will get you distracted. Yep. Yep. Squirrel. Sure. Creative avoidance. Yep. Absolutely. Sure.
Family.
Family. Family can absolutely be a distraction. Sure. What else? What else are some distractions that keep you from doing the activities?
Email, cell phone.
Cell phones, emails. Sure. Sure. Cell phones, emails.
Current business.
Current business. Okay. Good. Current business. Certainly distract you. Absolutely. Okay. What else? What else can be distracting? What else could just, what'd you say?
My kids.
Kids. Yeah. Yeah. Kids can absolutely be distracting. Sure. Sure. So all of these are good. I wrote down a couple other options. For some of you, they won't matter, but some of you they will. But just looking at all the possible different distractions. The previous night. Some of you, I go to bed at, whatever time. And so, I wake up, I'm good. Some of you go to bed too late, or in some cases too early in the morning. And so getting up and doing role play at 8 a.m. or 7:30 a.m., you're groggy. You're just getting ready because of the previous evening. Okay. Some of you might like to go out a little bit too much for work days, which is all fine if you can get up and do the activities. I remember the story of Kobe Bryant. The one year the rookies, they were on a road trip, their very first road trip, and the rookies were staying out late. And Kobe said, "You can stay out as late as you want, as long as you remember why we came on this road trip." And that was the point of, you just better get up. You better be up and ready to go tomorrow when it's time to actually play the game. So keep that in mind. I wrote down here, conversations with agents in the office. Conversations with agents in the office. Now, part of that is, are you allowing the conversation? You're at your desk, an agent comes and starts chatting it up. Now, it's different between asking for advice versus having a conversation. Okay. Because if someone comes up to you and they say, "Hey, like we were just doing right here, Fred was saying something, a couple people were asking questions," that's different. I'm talking about like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? How you doing? What's new? What's exciting?" And instead of prospecting, you engage in the conversation. I'm not telling you to be rude to people, but it's okay to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm prospecting right now. Let's talk later. Hey, I'm role playing right now. Let's talk later." All right. But we engage in the conversations in the office. I wrote down here, checking voicemails. Someone called. I got to check the voicemail. I got to see who it was. For those of you that have admin or staff, you get too involved with them in the morning. Either too involved in terms of too many meetings, or you're micromanaging because you're listening to all their conversations. Some of you have been to some of our offices and you notice that some of our bigger producers in the morning sit out in the bullpen, even though they have a private office. That's by design. Because if they're in the office with the admin, they're overhearing all the conversations and they get too involved. "Oh, what did they say? Is that so-and-so?" Nope, out of the office. You go out of your private office, you go sit there. Okay, we get too involved with admin staff. Okay. Cell phones, text messages, we talked about that. Social media. Someone liked my post, I got to go check it out. If I don't go see who liked it now, they might unlike it. And then, well, I will have lost that opportunity. Okay. All distractions that keep us from doing our job on a day-to-day basis. So write down for yourself, what are your distractions? And then family, because the family was already on there. Write down your distractions. What are your distractions? What are keeping you from doing your activities on a daily basis that's going to help you accomplish your goals? Because I wrote down here, your distractions are your demise. Your distractions are your demise. You know what to do, surrounded by the right people. You could put together a schedule. You could be all these wonderful things. Well, why am I not hitting my goals? Because you allow the distractions. You want the distraction. So what are your biggest distractions? And I want you to write down, what are you going to do to make sure that distraction is not a distraction? So family, for example. Well, my family bothers me during the middle of the day. Okay. Your family bothers you in the middle of your prospecting because they don't think you have a real job. It's just the truth. They think you don't have a real job and that they can call you whenever you want because you're an independent contractor. You come and go as you please. So in order to prevent that from happening again, is you need to have a conversation with them to explain to them that you do have a real job and they need to treat it as such. But in order to do that, you need to, number one, share with them your business plan and your goals of what you're actually going to accomplish if you can do your job. Because if you tell them, don't distract me during the day, I have a real job, and then at the end of the month, you have no income coming in, then they're allowed to say, thought you had a real job. You have no money. You told me not to distract you because you were so busy. What were you doing? So you need to actually do those activities, number one. Number two, you need to share with them how they benefit. If you leave me alone during this time, this is what's possible. And if this is what's possible, this is what I plan on doing with the money. Wouldn't that be nice? So you need to have a conversation with them. And then number three, you need to stick to your guns and not answer those phone calls. So if you go to your family and say, look, I have a real job. I can't be distracted between these hours and these hours. If they call during those hours, you have to not answer the phone. Otherwise, you're just continuing to allow them to do it. Now the question comes involved, okay, well, what if it's the kid? What if I got young kids and they're calling? You know, there's a case-by-case basis. If the principal's calling, that might be a different story, okay? If the principal's calling, that might be a different story. But you need to make sure that the kids know that they can only call you if it's an emergency. But get them involved. Get them involved in the action. Let them know what they have. If you get the kids involved with your goals, they become an asset. If you don't get them involved, they become a liability. Because if you have a 10-year-old, for example, and you get them involved with your business plan and you show them what their benefit is if they're allowed to do what you want, are they going to hold you accountable? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You tell a 10-year-old that he's getting he's getting a brand new bike. You know, if you leave me alone during these times, you're getting a bike. You guarantee that 10-year-old's going to be like, hey, am I getting my bike yet? Am I getting my bike yet? Am I getting my bike yet? Hey, I saw the bike. Are we getting the bike yet? Are we getting the bike? Can I get the bike now? Did you do what you're supposed to do? Can I get the bike? They're going to hold you accountable. They become an asset. But if you don't do that, they become a liability because now they're just calling you, distracting you.
I'm starting to think you're like a fly on the wall of my house, Robert. This is kind of creepy.
That's the way it is. The way it is. I got eyes everywhere. No, I don't. I don't want eyes everywhere. I don't need eyes everywhere. But that's the kid. But that's the kid. That's how they go. So they will be hold you accountable. So make sure you have that conversation with your family. Okay. So identify what it is. Social media. Take off the push notifications on your cell phone. A push notification means that, if let's say you have Facebook, for example, is every time something happens on your Facebook page, you get like a ping or a notification. Anyone here besides me, because I'm included on this, that if that cell phone pings, you instantly go, all guilty. So turn off your push notifications, right? It's okay. So, but somebody messaged me on Facebook. Read it later. It's not like Mission Impossible where it's like this video will self-destruct in 30 seconds. Like it's not one of those types of messages on social media. You can read it later. They liked my post. Great. Check it out later. They responded. Great. Check it out later. But turn off the push notifications. Get those off your phone or just take the app off your phone in general. Right, Melinda Elmer?
Facebook is not on my phone anymore.
No. Yeah. Get rid of all that stuff. Okay. So it makes a difference. So write this down. If you are fully focused, according to the book, The Slight Edge, okay, for those of you that have never read the book, The Slight Edge, in that book, they said, if you're fully focused on something and you get distracted, it could take you 11 minutes to get back to that level of focus you were at prior to the distraction. So let's say, for example, that you're prospecting, okay? I've got to hit my prospecting goals in order to hit my money goals. I'm here, I'm prospecting, but I'm ready, I'm on my dialer, I'm calling. And then a ping goes off on my phone and I go ping and I go, and I look. Oh, wow, yeah, okay. No, thank you, blah, 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 like this. Okay, let's get back at it. It could take 11 minutes to get back to that level of focus you were at prior to the ping. 11 minutes. Now that's one distraction is 11 minutes. What if you did that twice, 3 times? Now we're talking about 20, 30 minutes a day. So here's some scary stuff. Let's say, for example, that you got distracted for 30 minutes a day, or you got distracted 3 times, which means it took you 3 times. You had to get back to that level of focus, and that's 33 minutes. Let's just call it 30 minutes. And if you were going to work 220 days and you got distracted 30 minutes a day, how many hours is that in a year? If you're going to work 220 days, 30 minutes a day, how many hours is that?
Six 6,705 minutes.
Right. So it's 110 hours. 220 days, 30 minutes a day. So you just half hour a day, 110 hours. That's just 30 minutes a day. And that's 3 distractions that cost you 30 minutes a day. It's 110 hours a year. What's possible in 110 hours? I mean, if you know your numbers and you know how much you get paid an hour, I mean, what's 110 hours? How many contacts could you make? Well, I make 10 contacts an hour. Well, 110 hours, that's 1,000 contacts that you're missing out on. 110 hours, how much better would you be at your listing presentation if you change that 110 hours to listing presentation practice? There's just 3 minor distractions a day. Okay. So identify what your distractions are and then come up with a plan to not let those distractions come in to play. Now, wrote down here, when it comes to time management, what's the most important part of the day? Time management and scheduling.
Morning.
The morning. If you don't get the morning right, you don't have a chance. In real estate, throughout your day, will chaos occur? Yes or no? Yes. If chaos doesn't occur throughout your day, you need to get into more action. I mean, every day is, well, I got a buyer lead, but now there's an issue with the pre-approval. The appraisal came in short. We're coming up against multiple offers. They don't like the counter. Every day there's chaos, right? A canceled appointment, a brand new appointment. So if you don't start your day structured, then you don't have a chance because the chaos is coming. So if you start the day chaotic and then the chaos comes, then you have no chance. So the morning is most important. So I wrote down here, get the morning right. Create a morning routine. What is your morning routine? Okay. What is your morning routine? Now, there's no blueprint for this is the perfect morning routine. Here's what the blueprint is. Not a good morning routine is this. I wake up, I rush out of bed, I grab a coffee and a bagel, and I run out the door and I eat and I drink my coffee as I'm in the car to run to the office, to get to the office and go, okay, I'm ready to go. That is not the blueprint morning routine. You know, I'm doing makeup in the car, which scares the hell out of me. Okay. I'm not talking to just the women here. You know, the guys in the car. Get my tie right. Trying to tie a tie while you're driving. What are you doing? Jesus. Terrifying.
I'm used to it. You know, I can do it.
I get it. But I get it, you know, and you know, we get to the point where we could tie a tie, we do our makeup because it's so routine that we don't even think about it. Doesn't make it right. So what is your morning routine? Is it exercise? Is it meditation? Okay. Do you journal in the morning? Do you do affirmations? Do you watch motivational videos? Do you read books? Do you look at your business plan? Do you write out your goals? You know, do you have some role play set up? Do you have accountability partners? Do you have a mastermind group? What is your morning routine? But you need to have some sort of morning routine. And ideally, something in your morning routine that creates a powerful, energetic start to the day. So let me give you an example. Well, Robert, you know what I do every morning? I get up and I listen to a podcast. Oh, great. Which podcast are you reviewing? Oh, it's the one about a double homicide that they're trying to solve the case on. Oh, that's good. Good. That's a good way good mindset going into the day. You know, that's exciting. You know, all right. I'm glad you're listening to a podcast, right? So something more ideal, right? That's more energetic, positive, right? That's why maybe it's meditation, maybe it's exercise, it's stretching, it's yoga. Maybe it is reading or listening to a podcast or a book or something, but something that's, you know, energetic, something that helps you clear your head and dream big or think big or get you going throughout the day. You know, if you want to listen to the, you know, the true crime podcast, that's fine. Do that later. Okay. Do that later, but that's not what you should be doing in the morning, right? But I wrote down here also affirmations. A negative affirmation is still an affirmation because a lot of people do affirmations. So make sure your affirmations in the morning are positive affirmations. Let me give you an example. I will succeed today versus I will not fail today. Same end concept. But mentally, I will not fail today. What's the key word in I will not fail today? What's the highlight word?
Fail.
Not.
Fail. Thank you. Fail. Fail is the highlight word. I will not fail today. The highlight word is fail. I will succeed today. The highlight word is succeed. Mentally, they've done studies on this. When you're doing an affirmation, the words not just the meaning of the words, not just the meaning of the statement, because I will not fail today is kind of a positive thing. I'm not going to fail today. But the word is the highlight is fail. You're setting yourself with a negative mindset, negative affirmation going into the day. So even when you're doing affirmations, make sure that the words you're using are still powerful, positive words in the affirmations, even though the end context is the same. Does that make sense? Just talked about, they taught me this in sports years ago. Like I learned this when I played baseball years ago. And I remember, because they would say, all right, get this guy out, right? You're telling the pitcher, like, and you're like, in a way of encouragement, somebody said, all right, don't walk him now, you got it. And the coach came back to us afterwards and he said, the message was don't walk him, you can get him, right? Like that was, you're meaning something positive, don't walk the guy. But the context was, the main word was walk him, which is a bad thing in baseball. So they teach you this whole thing, right? So look at your affirmations. But figure out your morning routine. Okay. What are you eating in the morning? What's your morning nutrition? Right? Because that has a positive or negative impact on your day. Questions on anything we've gone over so far? Okay. So now let's get into scheduling. All right, let's get a little bit into scheduling. I'm going to try to break this down in the simplest format in terms of scheduling, because what I've learned in years of coaching and training is that scheduling seems to be the hardest part of training independent contractors. Because you're an independent contractor. I don't need a schedule. I don't have to have a schedule. So there's already that mountain to overcome. And then when it's, here's all these things to put in your schedule, it becomes overwhelming. Anyone ever dealt with that? They've gone to some sort of real estate seminar or something like that. And they said, here's all the things that need to be in your schedule, and it becomes overwhelming, right? So I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible in terms of scheduling. In your day, there are 4 no matter what's. 4 no matter what's that you need to put in your schedule. 4 no matter what's. A no matter what is just as it sounds. No matter what, this has to get done. There are no exceptions. There's no excuses. There's no, I can push this off till tomorrow. There's 4 no matter what's. What are the 4 no matter what's? Anyone want to?
Prospecting.
Prospecting is a no matter what. What else? 3 more.
Practice.
Practice. Thank you, Dustin.
Follow up.
Follow up. You're right, Joey, but I include follow up with prospecting for simplicity.
Gotcha.
Okay. You're right. But again, for simplicity reasons, I get this question all the time. Like, well, what's the difference between prospecting and lead follow up? Just do it. That's my answer. Okay. Do both. Whatever your definition is, just do both. Okay. So prospecting, practice, 2 more. Preview. Lydia says preview. Yep. You got to preview homes. 1 more.
Present. See what's new on the market.
There we go. Thank you, Alicia. Present. So now we're going to make it even simpler. You just have to, the no matter what's are 4 P's. No matter what, 4 P's every single day. You have to practice. No matter what. Have to practice every day. Okay. LeBron James does it. He's made a fairly decent life for himself. You as a real estate agent should practice every day. Okay. Meryl Streep has been nominated for like 18 Oscars and still practices scripts every day. Even if she's not practicing for a role, she still reads her scripts and stuff every day. If past scripts she's done to stay sharp. She's been nominated 18 times. Okay. Practice every day. You have to preview property. If you don't know your inventory, you can't sell it. Imagine going to a wine store. Hey, so what kind of wines do you have? Reds and whites. Thanks. Do you have any Merlot? I don't know. What about some Zinfandel? Not sure. Would you ever go back to that wine store? Would you ever go talk to that wine person ever again? No. So why would a consumer go back to you and they say, hey, tell me about the real estate market? And you go, there's homes. There are homes. I've seen them. Well, what's going on in my neighborhood? I don't know. What are prices doing? I don't know. Well, you are a wealth of knowledge. Got a preview. You got to know what's on the market every day. Number 3, you got to prospect. Tony Smith 101. Days you do not prospect, you're unemployed. You know, he says that all the time. Just turn that sign over from open to closed. The days you don't prospect, you're unemployed. Got to prospect for business every single day. And number 4, you have to present every single day. You either need to be on a live presentation, buyer or seller, I don't care, or you need to practice a presentation, buyer or seller, every day. Got to get in the habit of presenting every day. 4 no matter what. Now, if you do those 4 things every day, every work day this year, are you giving yourself the best chance to succeed? Yes or no? 4 no matter what. Well, what about admin? Yeah, you should also do admin, but if that gets pushed off to the next day, it gets pushed off to the next day. Well, I want to figure out what I'm trying to do some stuff on my website. Great. If you get that done today, great. But if you don't, that can be pushed off to the next day. I want to figure out my CRM. That could be pushed off to the next day. Those 4, no way, no how. Okay. So now the next thing is you have to time block. Now here's the key. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you master 8 to 12, the afternoon will take care of itself. If you master 8 to 12, the afternoon will take care of itself. Okay. So if I can role play, if I can, let's say I study my market stats, I know what's going on in my market, I role play, and then I prospect. Let's say between 8 and 12, I've studied my market stats, I've role played, and I've prospected. If I do those things from 8 to 12 consistently every day, is it a good chance that the other one, which is present, I'm going to have more of those in the afternoon? Master 8 to 12, the afternoon will take care of itself. Always prospect in the morning. Now, if you want to do an afternoon prospecting session as a bonus, great. But do prospect in the morning. Why? Why prospect in the morning?
You're at your best in the morning.
At your best? There's 2 reasons. You're at your best, number 1. And what's the second reason?
More energy.
More energy. Yeah, I kind of put that same. You're right, Sam, but I kind of put that at your best. You're more energetic. You're more motivated. You're more focused in the morning. What's the second reason? Come on. Everybody knows the second reason. What's that?
Do the most important thing first.
Do the most important thing first. Yeah. Eat the frog. Sure. There's another big reason, which kind of aligns to what Kamal said. You do the most important thing. There it is. Maria said it. If you don't get it done in the morning, you won't prospect later. Because to Kamal's point, prospecting sucks. We can all agree. Okay? Nobody does it for fun. So prospecting is my hardest task, to Kamal's point. And to Tyrone's point, Sam's point, I'm most focused, most energized, most disciplined right here. I want to match my hardest task when I'm at my best. Because at 2 o'clock, Prospecting and its annoyance and difficulty still stays here. But now my focus is down here, which means the gap is too big. So I'll either not do it to, like Maria said, I'm not going to prospect at 2 o'clock now, I'm beat. Or I'm going to do it, but it's going to be useless because I'm not going to have the energy, focus, and discipline to do it at a high level. Now, if you have a scheduled afternoon prospecting session, that's different. But don't push off the morning and say, I'll get it done in the afternoon. Don't do that. Won't happen. That's like for those of you that work out at night and you go, I'm going to work out. And then you go, you know what? I'm tired tonight. I'm going to get up earlier tomorrow and do it. I'm not going to do my workout tonight. I'm going to get up earlier tomorrow and do it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Present company included. I do my workouts in the morning for that reason. Because at night, I am guilty of, you can talk me out of anything. Want to go to the movies? Yeah. Want to grab a drink? Sure. Want to watch a TV show? Why not? Want to go do this? Of course. So if I don't work out in the morning, so no way. I'd weigh 300 pounds because I'm never going to give up lasagna. So if I don't work out in the morning, then, it's not going to work out. Okay. So master 8 to 12, prospect in the morning, role play in the morning. Okay. If you need to do some previewing in the afternoon, that's okay. But master that time slot. And then I wrote down here, time block everything. Everything in your schedule needs to be time blocked. Role play is time blocked. Whatever your role play is, 8 to 9, 8:30 to 9. Previewing is time blocked. Well, when do you preview? In the afternoon. When? 1 to 2. Great. 1 to 2, I'm going to preview. When do you prospect? In the morning. No, when? A couple hours in the morning. When? 9 to 11, 9 to 11:30, 9 to 12. Everything's time blocked. Everything's time blocked. Lunch is time blocked. Preview is time blocked. Admin is time blocked. Miscellaneous stuff is time blocked. Robert, I really want to test out all these different CRMs to figure out which one's the best. Please don't ever tell me that, by the way, because that's annoying. Okay. Which CRM is the best? Which one do you currently use? I use this one. I like it. That is also my favorite. So I'm just telling you what I'm going to say. Some of you have already known this. Oh, you use Lion's Desk? Sure. Oh, you use Moxie? Love it. Top Producer? It's the best. Follow Up Boss? Oh, it's amazing. Whichever one you use, it's my favorite. Just use that one. But if you have to test out all these CRMs, time block it. 2:30 to 3:30 on Wednesday, and time block for CRMs. I want to work with the marketing department on some stuff. I'm time blocking that from Tuesday from 1:30 to 2. I'm role playing my listing presentation. Time blocked. Everything has to be time blocked. Has to be time blocked for a couple reasons. Number one, if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. Happened to me this morning, believe it or not. Somebody had sent me a message over the weekend of meeting at 10:30 this morning. And it wasn't in my calendar. I also had a call at that time. So I didn't put it in my calendar. And then they called me at like 11 and like, hey, I thought we were supposed to have a call at 10:30. I was like, one, I have a call every Monday at 10:30. So I don't know why I would have agreed to that. And plus it wasn't in my calendar. So it doesn't exist. So that's number one. Number two, if I time block it, I have a start time and an end time. Makes it easier to follow. If I say I'm starting at 9, if I'm time blocked from 9 to 11:30, then at 9 o'clock I have to start and 11:30 I have to end. Because at 11:30 to 12, I have another time block. It's easier to manage my day. Time block everything. Everything has to go in the calendar and everything has to be time blocked. Last couple points here. One calendar for your whole life. One calendar for your whole life. Not a business calendar and then a separate personal calendar, one calendar for your whole life. No way to manage two separate calendars. And you will double book yourself, guaranteed. And the only hope that I have for you, if you want to run two different calendars, is that you double book yourself for something minor and not double book yourself for a listing appointment on your kid's birthday. Or double book yourself when you're supposed to be picking somebody up at the airport who's flying from out of the country. Or double book yourself on anything regarding your spouse. Date night. Oh, we have date night scheduled. I have a listing appointment. How's that? How's that conversation going to go?
Them sound like fighting words.
Yeah. Well, honey, I hope it's for $100 million piece of property and you sell it because that's how much the divorce attorneys are going to be. So
Leave me alone, man.
no, it's a $325,000 expired fixer. I would cancel. I'd cancel. I'm going on date night. One calendar. Don't do that to yourself. All right. Everything goes in the calendar, one calendar. And then the last thing I wrote down here on scheduling. Plan out as far as you can go. So Melinda, for example, and I pick on her only because I know her schedule, has when her massage dates are, correct? Haircuts, all that stuff. She's for a year. Okay. Some of you don't have to worry about when your haircuts are. I didn't mention any names. But haircuts are for a year. Massage dates are a year planned out. Vacations as far out as you can go, right? Put them in the calendar. So that way it's already there. You don't have to, it's not like, oh, what about this? What about that? You want to go see a show. You want just a scheduled day off. Hey, every couple months, I want a scheduled day off. Take it off. But put it in the calendar. Go as far as you can go. If you could go the entire year, that'd be great. Push it out as far as you can go. Okay. Questions on anything we went over today? Nope. Very good. All right. That's all I got for today. Wanted to just spend some time on time management and scheduling. If you are having any issues with your schedule or putting all of your stuff in the schedule, when you look at your business plan, call me, email me, text me. I will go over that with you. We'll put together a schedule that fits. If you have a scheduling problem because it's like, hey, I can't work your typical these hours. I've got this, this, and this. Call me, text me, email me. Let's set up some time. We'll figure out a schedule that fits best for you. Other than that, put it together. Has to be realistic, something that you can go through. Okay. And I would also, I'm not opposed if anyone wants to send me their business plan. I'm assuming you all did it, but just to make me feel better, how about send it to me? Just make me feel better. Because as we all know, it's about me. Oh, I'm just kidding. All right, everybody. I appreciate you being here. If I can help out in any way, please let me know. Call me, text me, email me. Not just today. I'm talking about like this year, 6 months from now. Use me. Okay. I am here to help. I want everyone to have a bigger year than they did last year and the year before's. And I don't know everything, but I can help in some ways. So
All right. Thank you, Rob.